Oh, hello everybody. Server624 here. Welcome back to Pokemon Scarlet. Last episode, we finished biology, math, history, and languages at the academy. Now we're finishing the last of these with battle studies. Another day, another round of battle studies. So, let's get right to it. Well, you gave everything you had on the midterm exams. Well done. We'll resume our regular classes today, so keep up that energy for the second half of this term. Have you all been using the R to send out your Pokemon? Yeah? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you're facing. It is a super useful tactic to let your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you. And that's not all. If there's a wild Pokemon nearby where you send your Pokemon, they'll start battling each other. We call those battles auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act on its own during auto battle, meaning you won't have to give it any commands. And if your Pokemon win, they'll get XP points, just like it would in a regular battle. So if you make good use in these battles, they can be really effective in ways to train your party. But you'll want to remember that Pokemon won't evolve or learn moves right away if they leveled up from an auto battle. Also, if your Pokemon lose an auto battle, it'll come back with a small amount of HP left. Make sure you heal it up. Make sure to heal it up right away. Whoops, I just about did the whole class at a one-sided lecture. Did anyone have any questions so far? How do I stop an auto battle? Can I catch wild Pokemon? Well, I know I can't do that, so there's no stopping an auto battle once it starts. You have to wait and see how it plays. You can call your Pokemon off before the battle starts, though, if you press the ZR button while your Pokemon is still on the way to the opponent. Even during auto battles, our Pokemon are out there battling for us. They're trainers. Keep an eye on them as much as possible, and if it looks like they're going to lose, be sure to have them retreat. Also, this goes without saying, but Pokemon with low HP are already worn out. They probably won't enjoy auto battles as much, so don't work them too hard, okay? In conclusion, auto battle only works if the trainer and their Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart with how you use auto battles so you don't lose the trust of your Pokemon. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hand-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we ran out of time as usual. Class is over. Take care, little rascals. Alright, on to lesson 5. Another day, another round of battle studies. Well, so let's get right to it. I hope you gave auto battle a shot, like we talked about last class. I mean, I already did it, but yeah. Making good use of auto battle will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's also an effective way to gather Pokemon material, you need to make TMs or TM machines or at TM machines. Speaking of which, have you been using the TM machines? I sure hope so, because it's pop quiz time. To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. Anyone remember what that is? LP? Looks like we have a TM Machine Pro, new kid. The correct answer is League Points, or LP for sure. You can give Pokemon or LP and Pokemon materials to a TM machine to create TMs, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon material at the TM machines for League Points for LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking or something like that. Is she talking about me and Clive? Or Director Caravel? I don't want any of you getting involved in bad stuff like that. Got it? Anyways, you can also add TMs that you want to make on your watch list. This will let you keep an eye out on material you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials. And if you want to get a hold of lots of materials, you have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Oh man. Some hand-on practice. Alright, on to lesson 6. Also, this is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we wrap things up. You've shown that you have more than enough knowledge to be super strong battlers. I don't know that I have much left to teach you, but we can always aim for even greater heights. So today we're going to teach you the rules about links battles. When two trainers participate in link battles together, they can engage in either single battles or double battles with each other. So if you're playing in a group of 4, you can all battle each other in multi-battles. Now when you're all having battles during your independent studies, you can use whatever numbers of Pokemon you like. They could be in any level. But in link battles, there are special rules to keep in mind. Some of these special rules involve adjusting Pokemon levels. Now, the no restriction rule lets all Pokemon stay in their current level. So it lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same health items too. But if you choose normal rules, all Pokemon will be set to level 50 for your battles, regardless of what level they are actually on. This even includes lower level Pokemon. They'll get a power boost to participate. Normal rules lets you use multiple of the same Pokemon species and of the same health item too. The great part about the rules set is that it lets any of your Pokemon participate. All they have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the rule set called flat rules mostly affect Pokemon over level 50. Such Pokemon will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. The flat rule set is one often used in official tournaments. This rule set does not allow any trainer to use multiple Pokemon of the same species or multiple of the same held item. Alright, here's a question for you. Which rule should you pick if you want to use a lower level Pokemon and keep its lower level? Let's see. If you want to keep its level low. Flats? That's the one, new kid. Looks like you're listening to the lesson. If you got some clever strategies that you need to use a low 5 Pokemon for, your best bet is to choose the flat rule set. Of course, you can choose no restriction if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want, at any level with any held items. That's a pretty good rule set for when you want to battle free with friends. In conclusion, normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50. Flat rules lets you use lower level Pokemon at their actual level. I hope you use these tips for some exciting battle with your friends. Oh man, yep. Next class will be our final exam and aim for a perfect score. Asu. It's the final game day. Oh, it's finally game day. Today's our final exam. Time to put on your game faces and do battles with those test sheets. Let's see. Which boost cheer? Go all out. Let's see. Auto battles. Exchange materials. Let's see. High level Pokemon are just level 50. When using normal rules in link battles, you can use multiple Pokemon. Think it's true. Time's up. Put your pencil down. I saw you giving everything you got. I'm sure you got a perfect score. You all did so well in my class. If you pass this test, you officially become battle masters. Now go ask for your stellar scores. Yep, little rascals. I wonder if you could actually battle Miss Dredna, since she's really eager for a battle. And my final score is... Nice! Finally a 5 out of 5. Like, all the other classes from my last one were like all 4 out of 5, which I don't mind, but dang. Anyways, here we go with 2 more classes. Alright, let's see what art have. We have art with Mr. Hassel. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yes again. I'm pleased to say that everyone did very well on the midterm exam. As a reward for all your hard work, we have a special guest visiting today. Now then, Brassy, please come in. Greetings. Oh hey, it's him. Was it Brassicus? Yep. No, I am Brassicus. I am an artist, and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brassius here mainly create three-dimensional pieces such as statues and the likes. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you who have challenged the Artisan gym are no doubt familiar with this sculpture. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Haas classes. So I'm assuming you two know each other. I'm assuming you two are friends, considering you're giving each other like little nicknames. Old Haas is the man who saved me when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Haas I was able to establish my current art style. Dear Brassy, I have nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you will guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Haas mentioned? Surrendering Sunflora. Can anyone here tell me what my mood was when I crafted it detached expression? That's sad? Nope. Completely and utterly wrong. When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. I had resolved to give up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Haas. When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships. Eli became deadly ill and even fell into a slump that drove me into depression of desperation. I began worrying about what it would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all my pieces during that time had no depth. They're all shallow trash. Then it was that I met Haas. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind. And that is how I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable. Even I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now I have no doubt that you adolescents will often find your head crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That's all for me. I must admit, I am beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Haas. And farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brassy, I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I think not even a goodbye. Well, he seemed to be better. Yep. Allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brassia's story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I seriously got a very stern talking to from Miss Time after that class, yes. Anyways, let us shift gears and dive into the material for today's class. Now, have you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name implies, there are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered particularly beautiful. Among them, I would say the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. You can see the field after field of olive trees from the hills on the way to Cortondro. 2 waterfalls are connected or are also counted among these 10 sites: Fury Falls and Casaroya Falls. Then there's the peak of Glacio Mountain, known as Paldea's highest peak. There's also another cliff on Glacio Mountain that is named after its rather unique shape. So let me ask you, my students, what is the name of the Tring Prong Cliffs on Glacio Mountain? No need to grasp at straws. I don't remember. I'm assuming it's grasp? Exactly. Looks like a hand taking it looks like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Red? The String Prong Cliffs on Glacio Mountain is in fact known as Glacio Grasp. Though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand, I imagine someone thought it looked like a Pokémon hand grabbing something. There are also mountains in Area 3 of the East Province where you can get a good look at the Vivencia is particularly gracious or gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant it is known as Million-Volt Skyline. I heard it's quite a hot spot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it what do the kids say these days? A very fleek selfie spot. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt me. Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose name. How often do we visit some tourist spot only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourselves and see them with your own 2 eyes. And sometimes a disappointing experience can be worthwhile on its own way. Take a chance. And that's it for today, class. Thank you for your attention. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art, but there is absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish for you to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that captures a Pokemon's quality. There'll be times when your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friend ribbon. Intensely, there is a person in Cascarafra who can give your Pokemon a Best Friend ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as with a rowdy mark or a vigor mark. And it's completely up to luck whether you run into a Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice to your outstanding fortunes. Does anyone know what special things you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? I guess you could show them off. Well, yes, indeed, you could show them off, but surely that not extend to your interest, isn't it? The correct answer is that Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. For example, you could send out a Gibble with a Best Friend ribbon for declaring, "Go, Gibble, the great friend." And while I know I just said that marks are generally found on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These are marks such as gourmand marks, or item fighter mark, or partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it may be fun to work out how to get each mark using its name by its clue as its clue. It's a clue. Well, that just wraps our last class. Next is the final exam. Please review our materials and closely so that you could pass on your first try. Yep, and on to the final exam. I hope you're all ready because the time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. And begin. Let's see. What's the name of the restaurant where you can change a Pokemon Terra type? The Treasure Eatery? What's the name of Brazil's surrendering? How many waterfalls? 2. Where can you find Levincia? The marks a Pokemon has. When you first meet. False. Time's up. That's it for today's test. Pencil down, please. Thanks. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared had left a mark that I will treasure. I promise you. And a sincere wish that all you go on to even greater and more prosperous futures. Let's see the results. I think got a 4 out of 5 in this one. Oh no, I actually got all 5 right. Nice. Now, home ec. Oh boy, I gotta really do my deep voice for him. Here we go. Put away your phones. It's time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I'm glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issues. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life has taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in the second half of this course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal power. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys culinary arts. Arvin? He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends his day and night searching aspects of all culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Red, since you did quite well on our midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal power? Make food with other people? Arvin? I feel like I already feel like Arvin's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, teacher? I'm assuming make food with other people. Perfectly correct. I see you are knowledgeable about the culinary arts. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwich must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you'll be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it will become quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft a sandwich in the future. Okay, well, well, Arvin, you just got called out. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Well, if it means, given that I already helped them, I think I tried just enough. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all a farewell. Well, on to lesson 5. While you were performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I do not mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battle, they will get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by the wind and rain. They'll get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I've seen many trainers walking around with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing the issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conducts. Yes, Master Red. Oops, well I haven't. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up? Perfectly correct. I knew I'd count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. It is, of course, simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach your Pokemon, the Pokemon on your team, and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I would call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you'll be able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubble, the bubble will encapsulate the filth. Then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. Then you get your Pokemon clean and shiny like a shiny bright as a Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore HP and cure static conditions. However, some Pokemon have parts of their body that you do not want to scrub, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep that in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that I must mention is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I would let's see. What was that word? Let's see. Contradict myself by saying this. Please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time in our class come to an end. I bid you farewell. Yep, on to lesson 5, or I mean lesson 6. Home economics is the study of life necessities. But looking back into our time together, I realized that I focus mostly entirely on food. I hope it's not too late to shift the discussion of clothing, another necessity in our last class. I'm sure that you're all aware our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. Yep. If by chance you were not aware of this, you may wish to pursue your wardrobe. As long as you wear are school uniforms. The rest of your resemblance need not be school issue. This includes your bags or hat if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly be against school rules when I was a boy. That reminds me, there's one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Are Rotom phones? I mean, that's the only thing. Perfectly correct. That's the adorable little thing I was speaking. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit, I am fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Daddy Bird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gone a little carried away with that small talk. As the class known as Home Economics nears its ends, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so divisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, you can go on to cook for yourselves and to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken. I will be fully honored if I taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your life, even only a little. The sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through the end. And our time together has closed for today. Prepare yourself, prepare to do the best on your final exams. Alright, here we go. Here we go, the final exam. The time has come to test how well you have all learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from the last minute cram session fades. Let's see, milk. Let's see. Sparkling powers, I believe. Which of the following are not effective? Not an effect. I think it's this one. It helps hatch strong Pokemon. Yep. What is a simple yet important tactic? Cook with others? Yeah, cook with others. Pokemon wash. What? The question. This is a question about academy rules. Should you change your union? It doesn't matter. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the question a little easier than I planned to, as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phones cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had, so you will not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores. Yep. I I'm pretty sure this is the one that I got 4 out of 5. Wow, I can't believe I actually got it. Ooh, nice. Mm-hmm. Wait, are there any more? Oh no. Speaking of Doctor or Director Clevo, I'm gonna go see. Man, there's a lot. You know, I'll just go from here. Let's see what right for had. Why, if it didn't read from class 1A, are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told in class? Yep. It is convenient that you would take the bait as I presented in class. A vessel, a sword, and a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After obtaining these 4 treasures, the king castle was destroyed. Why, you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokemon. Oh wow. These Pokemon were passed from human hands to human hands as treasures. They slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of the king at that time, they awakened as disasters and became to rampage out of control. The king called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and after a fierce battle, the incarcerations of disasters were quelled. All the incarnations of disasters were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So what do you think? Would you say that story is just make believe? No? Oh, very astute of you. I have read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the likes. There's much support of this story or truth. If I am able to prove the story veracity myself, I'll be sure to let you know. He became even closer with Miss Ryford. Let's see. Oh, wait. Did I just talk? Cerberus read, the time has come. The cursed treasures, the 4 Pokemon of ruin. They exist. I stumbled onto the newspaper. I stumbled upon the truth in the newspaper, of all places. Ha! In an interview piece with a carpenter, no less. The Pokemon wielder apparently used sacred stakes to seal these treasures of ruins and shrines. Oh, I think didn't we already open one of those? There is a separate shrine of each of the 4 Pokemon and 8 stakes driven into the ground in the area surrounding each shrine. Each shrine keeps the power of ruin at bay. Oh yeah. We opened that one when we were fighting the Satsugiri. In other words, if all the stakes for a given shrine were to be removed, it would release the Pokemon held inside. Don't you think it would be nice to free those Pokemon from the confines of their tiny little shrines, Red? Yeah? Ha, a kind soul, I see. You are proving truly useful. According to descendants of a Pokemon wielder in the story, you must have a bond with a Pokemon in order to remove the stakes. Yep, we've been having a bond with Koraidon. I'm sure a Pokemon savvy as yourself would have no trouble at all with that. You can choose for yourself whether to believe me or not, but I will mark the locations of these shrines in your map. Yep. I'd rather go myself, of course, but skipping out on my classes to go adventuring seems to have made the director a little suspicious of me. Heh. You can think of it as part of your treasure hunt. Treasure of ruin are still treasures after all. I hope you will investigate these shrines if you are inclined to do so. You feel trusted by Miss Ralphie. Ryford. I think there's one more talk. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to think. Should I end the video? How many do we have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'm gonna make another video. Yeah, I think I'll save these for later on. Probably a more shorter one, but with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Cyber64. See you guys next time. Bye.